Hello again and welcome to Violeta English by Reportage. Today I would like to talk about a theme which is of actuality at this moment, the uniform, because school starts all over the world. School starts in Romania, where I live and where I am from. It will start tomorrow on the 9th of September. Today it is the 8th of September, the day when I do the shooting. So maybe you have noticed that all the important brands have got like a logo at the moment, back to school. I do from time to time affiliate marketing. I'm just learning about it generally, but I've started for a while affiliate marketing, and myself I do some product promotions on Facebook, and I noticed that different brands, clothing brands, libraries, even furniture brands, they all have adopted for a few weeks the logo back to school. So it's like a strong promoting of the idea that a new school year starts everywhere in the world, and we have to be prepared, or people have to be prepared, parents, children, teachers. And okay, that's fine. I even remember when I was a kid, and I also see kids at the moment who can't wait the beginning of the school because parents will purchase clothes and other necessary things, bags, especially those items which are related a little bit to fashion, like clothes, shoes, or even bags. And of course other items that are necessary, like copybooks, notebooks, pencil boxes and stuff like that. And that's fine. That's fine up to the point when it becomes burdening, when it becomes like a burden, because sometimes what's too much, it's too much. Like when you have to spend a huge amount of money in autumn at the beginning of every school year, and as a parent you have to spend a lot of money for your child or for your kids in order to buy them the necessary things. It becomes kind of burdening, because August, September will be months in which your budget will be strongly affected, and that will affect you for the following months as well. Of course, I don't want to imply the idea that you shouldn't buy anything at all, especially because children grow and they need new clothes, just because the clothes that used to fit them last year or even a few months ago don't fit them anymore. So it's pretty logical. But sometimes maybe they, in a way, they bought previously some clothes who still fit them, but the reason for buying new clothes is not precisely this one, but the reason is that they just want to start the new year with new clothes, and sometimes a new bag or new shoes, because that's just the habit. And I think those who take advantage mostly from this already installed all over the world habit are the companies, the brands. They take advantage because people at this moment of the year buy all sorts of things from different categories. Of course, the most search for ones are clothes, shoes, as I've said previously, bags, but sometimes even maybe furniture, desks, and maybe not the last, I could mention gadgets and electronics that children might need as well. Okay, so that's already the habit. It becomes a little bit like burdening for parents, and that's already an installed habit all over the world. As I've said, it reflects as well in Romania. Romania is situated in Eastern Europe, but at this point it is a kind of a pretty developed country. It's not like, I don't know, a very poor country, but economically it has been going well for some years. Generally, I might say there are cases of people who have very low income or people who struggle economically, but I just said as a general idea. So in Romania we all also have this tradition, and I noticed people all over the place buying all sorts of things for the new year. So the tradition, as I've said, is practically present everywhere. Now, where I want to get after this introduction, which was maybe pretty long, I will get to the subject. What I want to say with this is that children, in their turn, when they get to school, they encounter a challenge. Because this already installed tradition everywhere impacts the psychology of children, of students. And here I make reference generally to younger kids, to high school children, because they kind of expect to be, noticed for their new clothes or their new bags, and they also notice when a kid, a colleague, doesn't precisely have the newest clothes. Maybe he just his family couldn't afford to buy him new clothes or new shoes or a new bag, and that's where the problem starts. Because we all know, bullying is a phenomena present all over the world. In Romania as well, bullying in schools. I think bullying is a phenomenon that has been happening for a very long time, maybe for, I don't know, hundreds of years. But nowadays the phenomena is maybe at a higher level, especially with the rise of social media and communication via social media. Another type of bullying has come up, which is cyberbullying. Okay, so the child whose clothes are not new and maybe his bag is not a new one might become the subject of harassment and bullying at schools. I don't precisely say this because this is my opinion, but because I followed some studies, I also followed psychologists talking about this, and other people implied in the learning system, and the problem is real. Children get bullied for their clothes, for not having new clothes, or for the style of their clothes, and this is what I would like to, I would like you to pay attention to. I think children who bully, who harass maybe another kid for his clothes, pretending that they don't have a good style or they don't have new clothes. They saw this attitude somewhere, and they imitate in a way this attitude, and generally it comes from family environment, unfortunately. I don't imply here that their parents taught them to treat other children badly just because of their clothes, but there is something there in their education that make them act like this. Maybe they saw something like a conversation in their family, or maybe parents don't have so much time to communicate with them, and they spend a lot of time with other children, with groups of children who influence them into this direction. Or there is also another alternative. They spend a lot of time on social media, and there is where they take these ideas from. Because otherwise children don't do this just for no reason. They saw somewhere this model of judging other children for their clothes, for their style, for their belongings, for the stuff that they have with them. I think it is important to educate children and to make them pay attention to this, because of course clothes are important, but we shouldn't give them, or appearance generally is important, but we shouldn't give them a higher importance than they deserve. So we shouldn't exaggerate with that. I imagine that there might be some children who were young people who come to school and their style is not like very well chosen, but we never know what happens in his environment. We never know what happens in the family of that child, why that child or young man doesn't pay a lot of attention to his appearance or to his style. Maybe there is poverty, or maybe there are some problems in that family. Sometimes when you struggle economically, financially, you will pay more attention to pay, which is those things that are urgent, like bank debts, bills, and that kind of stuff. And after that, you will be interested in paying more attention to your clothes. So maybe the parents of those young people or of those children struggle financially, and they can't focus so much on investing into the clothes of their children. Or there are situations when that particular child or that particular young man doesn't really have a taste for style and fashion, and he doesn't really care about that. And maybe sometimes they appear with some funny combinations of clothes and stuff like that. But well, fashion is not a subject for everyone. Not everyone is interested in this, so I think we can just like feel a little bit amused, but just understand that it's not something that we should laugh at. We shouldn't make fun of other people for this reason. It can be funny sometimes, maybe if you see someone who has got a style which is not at all like unusual one. Maybe they wear some colors which don't fit with one another, or a hairstyle which is not like something that also fits them, or maybe it's a more unusual hairstyle. Of course, you can smile, but you don't have to laugh at that person, because, as I've said, they might not be aware of style generally. They might not be at all interested in style, and they might totally ignore that. Maybe they have other interests, or it happens simply because just they can't afford like investing into external appearance, and that's the reason for which they wear whatever they have at their disposal at a particular moment. I remember a couple of years ago, I commuted to a distant town where I taught English classes, and that was the only position available as an English teacher, so I had to commute. And I don't own a car. I had to use public transport, train, bus, and it was very, very expensive. Of course, part of the money was paid back after 1 month or so, but not the entire amount. A part of the amount that you were paying for the transport. So, and because the transport was so expensive, and at that point the salaries in the learning system were moderate, maybe I can say pretty low, I just couldn't afford doing anything else but pay my bills, my bank debt, and the transport, and what was left was for food, not enough, not even for food. Useless to mention that I didn't have like any amount of money left for clothes or for shoes. And because this town where I commuted was pretty cold, especially in winter, and previously I had never needed boots for, I mean, waterproof boots, and I just had never needed that previously. I needed at this point the waterproof boots for winter, and I struggled a lot to buy one pair of boots. It took me a while until I was able to do that. And of course, for a few months, I used some shoes that were not adequate for the climate conditions there, because I just couldn't afford to buy a new pair of waterproof boots, which were pretty expensive. So I can perfectly understand a child or a teenager or a young man. They don't not even do they earn money. They depend on their parents, and their parents do their best. I think generally parents do their best, but what if they can't afford more? Or the second option, as I've said, what if those young people, children, are not at all interested in style? Not at all. They just ignore this. So just, we shouldn't laugh at people, especially at children, especially at young people, because they are very vulnerable. They some of them are like very introvert. You don't know what you cause when you bully them or when you laugh at them. Some of them might be pretty sensitive and might be like very hurt by such an attitude. So yeah, and maybe in time they might they might remain like marked by this experience. They will carry this bad experience with them throughout their life because they were laughed at or yeah, bullied in school for their clothes or for their style or for their external appearance generally. In my opinion, children and teenagers don't like have bad intentions. I think I think family education is very important. They are much influenced by what they see in their families. If they see good things in their families, if they see in their families their parents talking in a positive manner about other people or just being like respectful, they will do the same. But in their family, if they see models like judging other people, that's why they kind of bully other children. Or maybe, as I've said previously, don't neglect communicating with your children, because this also might make them like go in this environment of becoming aggressive towards others. There is always a reason behind those young people or children who harass or bully others for different reasons, just like the one I've mentioned before. And that reason is rooted in their families or in their environment, the environment where they live. Because at school they get an education, and for instance here in Romania, teachers are pretty dedicated. I mean, they do their best generally, but the foundation of the education is at home, in the family. That's the truth, and we all know it. And with that said, I really wish that everywhere in the world children smile maybe a little or laugh a little, but very like in a polite way, I'd say, but never laugh at or harass or bully other children for their style or their clothes, but treat them like colleagues, friends. I think this is much cooler than, you know, making fun of other people. It's much cooler being friends with them and respecting each other and being good colleagues. That's the idea. So with this said, I wish you to have a great day and see you in the next one. Goodbye.